Hello everyone and welcome. I have something interesting for you guys. Today, we want to attach our biker to our bike. I have a biker here with a control rig. I will not go through creating control rigs for your character. There are tons of videos on YouTube showing how to do that. Or you can buy characters from the marketplace that come with control rigs. One thing you should consider is that the hand controller does not stretch the hand. If it does, it will ruin the whole look of it. So you see, when I bring my control rig into the level, a sequence is created automatically with it, and then it is opened, and the control rig is added to the sequence. It also activated the animation mode here. Our control rig has a stack of controllers. Our topmost is the root controller, and when it's moved, the whole character with all of the controllers will move with it. You might think that it is okay to constrain this root controller to our bike to move the whole character with the bike. Let me tell you something. You should never ever do that, and it cost me a day and a headache to realize that. I'll tell you why. I'll select this biker, and in the details panel, we'll zero out its location. Let's say you have constrained your root controller to your bike and your bike moved far from the world origin. So now you have your biker here, all good, looking with your camera at it, and you realize shadows are low quality. Let's click on it. You can see, the actor is still there at the world origin. So Unreal Engine thinks your character is there far away from the camera. And guess what? Unreal will spend less resources and computation on it, because it thinks it's far from us and it is not an important actor. So, we have our biker here, in front of us, and that's the most important thing to us, and Unreal thinks it's not important because it's far. You get the idea. I'll delete this poor biker. I will also delete this sequence, then create my own one, and open it. Now when I bring my control rig again, it will not create a new sequence and will just add it to my already opened one. Let's also bring a bike. To attach my rider to my bike, I'll first add my bike to my sequence by dragging and dropping it. Let's do something else before attaching it. If I bring my rider close to the bike, you can see it is detected by wheel tracing. We do not want that. We want it to be invisible to the wheels. So I will select my rider, go to the details panel, and search for the tag. Under the actor tag, not the top one, I will add a tag, right, ignore trace, and hit enter. Now this rider will be ignored by the tracing. Now to attach it, I will click on this plus icon next to the rider, select attach, and select my bike. Right away, it will bring a list of components with a socket on them. We added some sockets to the body and steering handle meshes when we set up our suspension in another video. That's why these two parts are listed here. I will just select the body, and in the next step, I will not choose any sockets and select none. Wait. Where did our biker go? Let's look around. There he is. Our biker had a location in world space, but when we attached it to the bike, the location is the same, but relative to the bike. That's why it jumped there. I'll zero out the location of it. And there he is back on the bike again. Let's add a transform key to prevent it from going anywhere. When this auto key toggle is on, any changes I make will be recorded on the current key, and we do not have to click on the keyframe again to apply our changes. So, I will rotate it 90 degrees and put it roughly on the seat, and I don't worry about keying it again because auto key is on. When I move my bike, the biker will jump back again where the pivot of the body is. That's a bug, my friends. When I move the bike, the construction script will run and anything attached to any inner component will ignore the offset, and jump to the attachment pivot or socket. When I move the play head, it will go to the keyed state. This will not affect your renderings, but it is very annoying. So, I will add a path to my level. And attach my bike to a path to be able to move it without this happening. See, that happened again. Any change of parameters in the details panel will run the construction script. Let's key the distance traveled to move the bike. Did you notice the biker jumped to the origin of the world? That's because our attach track ended here. I always extend my attached tracks a bit more at the start and the end to prevent that. Finally, we can move our bike without any issues. It is time to do the controllers. Let's go to the first frame and move the bike a bit further so this path billboard does not distract us. Let's activate the animation mode to be able to see and control the controllers. The number of these controllers depends on your control rig, but they should be pretty similar. Usually consists of a root, hands, pelvis, some spine, neck, head, and feet. And some directions for the knees and elbows. I will not touch the root because I have already attached the actor and adjusted the location and rotation there. Let's first key all of the controls together, so we have a checkpoint, and also this auto key works when we modify the controller's location later. You can see it has created a key for all the controllers at the start of my sequence. Now I just need to move the controllers and the changes will be applied to the key. Let's get this foot where it should be. You can constantly switch between world and local states for the best control. Let's do the left foot as well. Again, keep this auto key toggle on, so you don't have to click on the keyframe after each change you make. Then move these knee controllers to bring the knee out of the bike. Let's move our bike. Let's move the pelvis controller to better position the rider on the seat. Let me tell you something, only move the controllers that do not lead to any stretching. In my case, I am allowed to only move the root, feet, knees, hands, elbows, and the pelvis. Any other controller will lead to body stretching, so I am only allowed to rotate them, not to move them. Moving on, let's add a steering track here, and turn off the auto steering, so I can change the steering myself. You can see how that bug is killing me, but let's ignore it. If I want the hands to stick to my steering handle, I need to constrain my hand controllers to the steering handle. To do that, first I will move the hand controller where I want it to be. If the hand couldn't reach the handle, just bend the back a bit. My rig has finger controllers, so I will close the fist. When I'm happy with everything, I will go to the animation mode and find this plus next to the constraints. Make sure my hand controller is selected, and then click on plus and choose the parent option. It asks me to pick the parent. I will select my bike and it will list all the components that have at least one socket on them. If your mesh was not listed here, you need to add a socket to it. Let me show you where. You need to open the static mesh and add a socket in the socket manager section. It doesn't matter where the socket is, because we don't even need the socket itself. We just need it so our component can be listed there. So again, select the controller, constraint, parent, click anywhere on the bike. Select the steering handle and then none. You can see it's smart enough to preserve the location of the controller. Not like when we attached the actor to the bike and it jumped somewhere else. And here, a parent track is created. Let's enjoy it for a moment. If you oversteer, the hand cannot be stretched and will lose contact with the handle. I will adjust the hand controller a bit more. Again, if you're on a key and the auto key is on, any change to the controller will be applied to the key even when it's constrained like now. Let's bend the thumb a bit. Adjusting the elbow direction. And let's do the left one. You can either first move it and then constrain it, or first constrain it and then move it. Let's constrain the left-hand controller. Now, isn't that beautiful? Now let's see how we can fix the oversteering. Let's say here we want to oversteer the bike. This hand is not connecting well, right? In this case, first I will decide which controller I want to adjust and select it. I will duplicate the key for that controller by holding Alt and dragging the key just before where I want to modify it, to make a checkpoint for it there. And also, a key where I want to modify it, and then another key after it to make another checkpoint. And select the middle key, and do some leaning there. Remember, just rotate it, don't move it. Let's also key the steering. So, you can see when we oversteer, that spine controller is also animated in a way that the hand stays on the handle. That's basically the idea of animating the control rigs. You need to first do the attaching and constraining, and then animate the other controllers in a way the biker looks dynamic and the hands do not detach from the handle. That's it for today, guys. I know many of you were waiting for a video like this, and I'm happy I finally found some free time to record it. See you guys later.